Just picked up my window. I've got a little bit left to go. My sheathing here is gonna complete the front of the building. I need to go up and over on the gable. I tacked up these two pieces left and right just to where I could get out of here and know that the building was secure. I need to take those off, cut off these little pieces sticking out on the beams there, and then complete the sheathing. This episode's gonna be fun. We're gonna get this building dried in on the outside. I need to also take off the stucco mold on the outside of this door because we're not utilizing that. This is basically an outside trim piece that you would butt your stucco into. It's about an inch thick. I'm gonna take that off and we're gonna flush out the door to the outside of the building because we're gonna have a trim piece that goes up and around the outside. But we have a lot to cover. And since I've been doing the majority of this place solo, I figured it was time to bring in backup. What's up, buddy? We got a lot to do. This trim around the door though would be used for whatever application you needed it to be, whether it be cutting into a building and automatically having trim. Sometimes they'll have a little keyway in the back and it's for stucco, and basically that trim stays there and you would stucco right up to the outside, or in this case side right up to the outside. But I don't want this trim on there. It's not all that appealing. I don't like the profile. It doesn't match anything else that I've got. So we're gonna get rid of it all the way around. And then what we're gonna do is sheet clear out to here, to the edge of our trimmer and to our header and all the way down. We then need to pull this whole entire door out. Right now it's just tacked in with 2 screws. We're pulling it out to where this side of the casing is flush with the outside of our siding. And after that, what we're gonna do is take and trim around the outside and wrap the thing up. So in this wall assembly, we're gonna have sheathing here, 1/2 inch thick. We're gonna have our 5/16 LP smart side, and then we're gonna have the door flushed out to both of them, trim over the outside, close it off. We'll caulk around the outside, and this thing's money. Once we're through with all the sheathing, we're gonna start on our WRB, our paper that wraps the outside of this building. And when we go to do that, I'm gonna take this door and pull it back in and set it up against these braces. Luckily, I've got these 2 coming down, so I should be able to lean it right up against there. We need to create a pan all the way through the bottom here. We'll create what we call a back dam. So if any water gets in there, it can't go any further. It stops at the flooring and has to come back out. Likely be with some sort of silicone, but that's our plan. I'm gonna get the Sawzall, cut these back, cut that back, sheet this, get rocking. I think we need a new blade. $21 and a half, $21 and a half. 21 and a half works on both sides. I'm just gonna cut it 21 and a half twice. So I tried to use like minimal lumber when I was framing this thing. So you can see that right here, we don't have backing. The sheet runs all the way to the outside because it's flushed up with the trimmer. I'll have to add a backing piece in here and in here. Then this next piece is gonna go from here up to about here, all the way to the ridge and then back down. Just a rough eyeball, I got 22 and a half, 29 and a half. Let's get that cut and thrown up there. We are 59 and 7/8 overall. I might not do a lid. I don't think I'm going to. All right, I gotta get this little piece. So these pieces are strictly filler, not important one bit. They don't do anything whatsoever other than pad out the building. So here's what's up. I've got this monster plunge router from DeWalt, the DCW 620. This thing is a monster. I have a quarter shank, I don't know the name of the bit. It's a plunge bit though. It's got a spiral on the end of it. No bearing. Those bearings don't ever work out for me. So this is what we're rocking right now. We're gonna try this thing out. Not bad. I'm gonna set the depth a little deeper. That should help it. I've never used this thing before, so that was the first. This one's done now. I'll nail off around this, nail off the top up there. We need to cut some stuff back on the edge. We're getting somewhere. We're making progress. I'm really liking the size of that window, and this thing feels a lot bigger than I anticipated. For size reference, I'm 6'4". I'm just kidding, I'm not. I wish I was. I'm 5'11". It's a big studio. I'm really, really happy with it so far. Now the next step for us is we're gonna wrap the outside of this building. We've got the majority of it nailed off. We finished up our gables. We are prepped and ready to go. And that brings me to today's sponsor. You guys saw me use the Owens Corning deck defense up on the roof there, that synthetic underlayment that's held like a champ the last month while I've been away. It's tacked all the way down the side of the fascia board. It's not making any sort of ridiculous noise when the wind blows, and it's not tearing one bit, even though the winds here have been insane. That's why on the walls, we are using Owens Corning Pink Wrap Premium Air Barrier. Now there's a few reasons why I'm using this product on the studio and on the primary house here. When I look into products, I look at durability. I look at how tough they are. Pink wrap from Owens Corning is a very durable product. It's not going to tear easy when you're installing it or once you're siding over the top of it. You also have a 180-day exposure guarantee, meaning you can leave this stuff out for nearly 6 months and still be within warranty. But the main reason we're using this pink wrap from Owens Corning is due to the breathability. We get a lot of weather here, and that wind-driven rain, along with the moisture that gets pushed into that building, gets trapped behind that siding in between that sheathing. So having a breathable product like this allows my building to dry out. The install with the 3 foot by 75 foot is going to make this a breeze. We're going to overlap our 6 inches and run this thing all the way up. So we're going to wrap this thing up, tape it all off, show you guys the process for that. We'll talk about how to flash some windows, how to flash that door, and much more. In the description down below, you're going to find a whole link to a brochure from Owens Corning on their pink wrap WRB that we're going to wrap this building in. You guys can click that and go check it out, or just stick around a little bit longer. I'm going to talk you through it. But a huge thank you to Owens Corning for sponsoring today's video. So this is what we have planned. I put up this little section where we could talk about it. This is going to overlap 6 inches, both horizontal and vertically. We need to make sure that all of our joints are taped. For install, I'm using a Stinger cap stapler. This little thing here is pretty slick. It took me a while to find one, but you have a bunch of caps in here, the little green caps, and then you have a load of staples throughout the middle. And all you're going to do is simply pull that. It loads another clip up here. You staple it and it staples that cap. What you're doing essentially is the hole that you would have in your WRB in this paper right here gets covered with this cap. Therefore, if any water does run down the face of that paper, it's not going to be able to get back there because of this little cap here. We're gonna run up 1, 3 foot from here. This is our 6 inch overlap. Start over there, work it down. I got some work to do. How to wrap the window. I'll probably cut a roll down for this height since that'll work for the other side as well. Maybe. We'll see. I need to hop on a ladder and cut the sheathing back over there, and then I can run this all the way over. While we're on this side here, I'm gonna take and cut back the flashing. There's a certain way to do this. You have to cut it in a way that folds in, and then I'll flash the inside of the window, and then you cut the head flashing up top, and it all overlaps in a way that water, if it were to get in at the top, would find its way down, out and over the bottom. We'll talk a little bit more about that though, don't worry. This combo here is lethal. The Stinger stapler here is pretty cool. I bought way too much pink wrap. I'll have extra for the house. You know, there's no WRB on my house right now. Nothing at all. There was at one point. There was that black tar paper. Over time with the weather, it eventually got remodeled. There's nothing behind there. At least not the places I could see. Notice how I'm not putting my face behind it. Need to nail that little bit off. So our window flashing will look a little something like this. That'll fold in, up and over. I'll cut it back along the edge there, and then I'm gonna run a sill flashing all the way around. This will wrap in, that'll wrap in. We'll cut the top there by the head. We are set, you guys. I gotta take this door out. I'm gonna do that now. Lean it right back up in there. Be able to wrap this, do my flashing detail. I have to. T25, both sides. I'm gonna get a T25, take those out. That looks good. I'm actually really happy with this. I need flashing though. Cool part is we can get the door back in place. I need to go see how thick that LP Smart side is. I wish I could talk to you guys live because you guys probably know. I don't have a clue. Never used it. I know Hardy's 5/16. Let's paper the top real quick and then we'll be looking pretty good. We'll leave the front hanging. It's obviously gonna start and stop at that overlap, that 6-inch lap. But yeah, let's throw that lap piece on, see what it looks like. Now what we're gonna do is out of this corner, we're gonna carefully cut up. Just like so. So this will staple down. Now what we'll do is we'll flash up here, we'll set the door, we'll flash here across the top. This will go down, the flashing will come out the bottom here over, and we're gonna tape this joint here, seal it up nice and good, and we're set. I'm gonna grab a new roll and do that side over there after I finish cutting the top of this. Easy peasy. This is light work. I need to make that clean cut all the way across there and staple this up. And then once we put that back over, we'll tape it. That's taken care of. That's just flapping for right now. We're looking pretty solid. Let me cut that, put this up. We're good. Just one staple, just to tack it. Not even really putting it in all the way. Let's go grab some flashing. We'll flash all this, flash the bottom. I need to get a good silicone too. I've been looking at Sashko's products. You have like Lexel and all that. A bunch of my friends use it, so I figure I might as well too. I don't think they carry much flashing up here. I'm used to having like 6 different kinds that are available, and I don't know that we've got a whole lot of options here, so we're gonna get what we can. That's what we're using. This was the only flashing they sold at that store. This is a 6-inch by 75 foot. It's gonna be enough to do the door at the front and the window on the side, and that's all we need it for. I also got some other stuff. I got A2, but Lexel, never used it before. Sticks to almost anything. Tomorrow I have siding getting ordered, and I have a bit of a dilemma. I can get 4x8 sheets, or I can get 4x9 sheets. The problem is 4x8 sheets are about $52 a piece, and the 4x9 are $82. This is kind of where you have to weigh out the pros and cons. The 4x9 sheets are just a single sheet all the way down both left and right hand side, and then I just have a small Z-bar joint up across the top here, while the 8-foot sheet would require me to do a full Z-bar joint all the way around the building. So what do? Do I buy the expensive sheets and save myself on some labor, or do I do more labor and save myself some money? I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do yet. I'm gonna think about it, and next episode you guys will see what we do. Let's hope this stuff's sticky. I'm gonna do this a couple different times. You'll see why soon. First one that we're gonna do is gonna go all the way across, but it's gonna be all the way back in here. Pretty clean. This stuff doesn't stick when it's cold or when it's wet. That sucks. I'm gonna make it work. I will explain how. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take another one, run it across the bottom, and that one's gonna lap up and over. Then we'll have one final piece that goes all the way up. We shouldn't have a problem with any of the other ones sticking because they're going to the pink wrap that we've got. Now I'm gonna go up the side here and here with Lexel, and then do a row across the back there. Try to seal this thing up as good as I can. Careful, careful, careful. So right now the issue that I'm having is the flashing tape that I bought, the only flashing tape that I could find in town, small town keep in mind, will not go over and stick to my door. So what's gonna have to happen is we're gonna sheet the whole building with our LP Smart side that you guys picked, and then we're gonna go through and put our trim on the outside. And once we put that trim, it's gonna sandwich everything together, lock it all in. We're gonna caulk that as well. It's gonna be sealed up. But that is the finished look for the building. My goal for today was to pink wrap this thing, which looks pretty pink to me. I think to finish out our episode here today, we're gonna go over to the window side. We've got everything over there taken care of when it comes to pink wrap, except the very last little piece at the top. That's gonna go over our head flashing. So let's go over there, flash our window, Lexel up and around, and screw that thing in. At this point, what we're gonna do is run a bead of Lexol all the way around. I'm gonna come in about 4 inches with my Lexol, and then I'm gonna leave the very bottom of this open. And the reason for that is, in the case that water does get in, the bottom being open allows it to get out. But if water does get in and I have Lexol all the way across the bottom, I'm essentially sealing it off. When you think of a window like this, you want the bottom to drain, not collect. If I caulk the whole thing or seal it up with the silicone, it's sealed. Temperature's dropping quick. Supposed to be in the 20s tonight, getting closer, little by little. Today we started on the pink wrap the building. We've got the door set in the front here. This thing is finalized and not going anywhere. I talked to you guys a little bit about the 3/8 difference right here. That is the thickness of the LP Smart side I'm gonna be using. Once we put on this 3/8 thick siding, it's gonna flush out to that door frame right there. We'll go ahead and trim out direct over the top of it, seal this thing up all the way through. It is looking good. I got this window set. My camera died as I was going to put it in. What we're looking for when we set windows like this, we want this side here to be nice and plumb. We want the bottom to be nice and level, but once we go inside, what we want is for us to open up that window and the reveal from the edge of the window to the actual window itself to be perfect. So once I had this side plumbed and the bottom level, I went inside, made those micro adjustments so that my reveal all the way down is perfect. I'm happy with it. Happy with the pink wrap. Went really well today. So we're finishing up the last of our pink wrap. The end goal is to make it look a little something like this, where we have our seam tape going all the way across. Any of our verticals, any of our horizontals, we want to tape the whole entire thing. Since we use the 3-foot by 75-foot rolls, that means we have a bunch of smaller sections. So taping them horizontally is going to create one big panel of WRB as opposed to a bunch of little ones. I have one last piece to put clear across the top here, and we're wrapped up on this side. So the tape that we're using here is the Owens Corning pink wrap tape, and the reason for this is to create one big WRB. We've got this little vertical overlap here, and we've got this last one going across horizontal. So we've got all of our horizontals done all the way around the building now. We have got above the window done. We have a little hole that we patched over there. Our verticals here, we are just about good to go. This process is pretty seamless. I wasn't sure how involved it would be with all the taping, But so far it's been great. So at this point in time, our building is just about wrapped up. Let's head out to the front, see if I missed any spots out there. The back and the sides are complete, and we're ready to rock. So we have a few things we need to tape. I need to tape the 45-degree cut going on to our flashing there. I have a couple things. I have this horizontal joint here, there, a vert there to do. I have the vertical up there to do, across the head flashing all the way through there. So let's wrap that up. That horizontal's tagged. I don't know if I taped that or not. I might. It's not needed, but could be cool. No verticals over here. We have a vert there, and a horizontal. Now that's wrapped up. Now that is what we should be looking like. Our paint wrap is wrapped all the way around this building. We are taped on all of our horizontals. We have every vertical taken care of. This tape here is great. Goes a lot further than I thought to. I bought 6 rolls for this place. I only needed 1. But all the horizontals are done, all the verticals are done. The 3-foot by 75-foot rolls that I did, they're now all tied together top to bottom with this tape here. And I like the fact that it's pink here. Branding's well done. But at this point, this building here is ready to side. We have got everything taken care of. All of our cap staples are in, except for 2. I just realized I missed 2. I've been walking this building looking for that to see if I missed any. The cap staples just hold a lot better. That's why I was able to roll out that 18-inch piece on the top, set it down, go over, pull it back up and continue stapling. You couldn't do that with just a regular old staple. So this thing's definitely a winner. Link is in the description down below for every single tool that I use in this job site. But my favorite thing about what we're doing building out this studio is I get to test out everything that I want to utilize on the primary home here. I'm going to be utilizing the 9-foot rolls on this instead of the 3-foot rolls, just to where I get more coverage. But pink wrap is going on here. We have R21 going in the walls, probably a higher R value going up into the ceiling. We'll figure that out later on. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and thank you again to Owens Corning for sponsoring today's video. Links for everything in the description down below. The tools, the products, and everything else. The next video, we're going to be inside working on this building because I have to let this storm pass. We're going to see how this WRB holds up though. Catch you guys then.